Hi folks, Matt Renner here, Head of Sales with Track Hospitality Software. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of how exactly contact centers, reservation teams are using TrackPulse to increase revenue and direct bookings. So that's obviously a huge hot topic. Everyone wants to increase direct bookings. They're more profitable. We understand that. But a lot of people don't really know the numbers behind it or the science behind it. So most reservation centers, even the best ones, could be 2 people, could be 100 people, are typically going to lose anywhere from 70–80% of the inbound calls on that first call, meaning caller's going to call, they're going to check availability, but they're not going to book. So the question is, what happened to that 80% of those people that didn't book? And in most cases, the answer is nothing. The reservation team is basically an order-taking team. If they don't book the reservation on that first call, that's it. Hopefully they come back. But the truth is, the reality is, they usually don't. The average traveler has the world at their fingertips. On all devices, they can access thousands of properties, the best rates. Someone actually picks up the phone and takes the time to call your reservation center. If you are not putting time and money, if you're not funding, if you're not investing properly in it, you're just washing money down the drain. So we realized this was a problem working with our thousands of customers with Resorts and Lodges, our sister company, and so we wanted to build a solution that was an affordable way for everyone to basically have a system to capture contact data, build a database, and follow up with the right opportunities to increase direct bookings. That's what we did. So let me show you how TrackPulse works here. So TrackPulse is used, I think our smallest company is 2 people that work a front desk. I think the largest company that uses TrackPulse is over 3,500 rooms and over 100 reservation agents. And the one thing they all have in common is they want to track where their calls are coming from. They want to capture all their leads from email to phone calls to voicemail into one system, and they want to have compliance around it. They want to hold people accountable to make sure that they're, number one, servicing the guests when they're calling in the first time, making sure they have good customer service. Number two, track their marketing campaigns. Number three, if the guest doesn't book, they want a way to build their database and follow up with them to make sure that they don't forget about them, that they stay in touch, and that they increase their likelihood of that customer booking direct. The average OTA might charge 15 to 25%. Flash sale might be 40 to 50%. Cost per click might be 20 to 40%. Cost of acquisition. So it's really expensive to acquire customers, but what isn't expensive is just making a quick follow-up call for 3 minutes to see if they want to book. And by doing that, by implementing that strategy and using TrackPulse, the average TrackPulse customer is seeing about a 2% cost to acquire a new customer. And that's because they're simply using the system, taking all the calls through TrackPulse. If someone doesn't book on that first call, they're saving their information, and they're either emailing them or following up with a click to call through TrackPulse. So let me show you exactly how this works and kind of what some of the results are. So put yourself in the shoes of a reservation agent. So that's what I'm doing right now. I come in the morning, I walk in, I sit down at my desk, or I sit, at the front desk or wherever my station is, and I've got one screen up, and on that screen I've got my property management or my reservation software. On the other screen I've got TrackPulse up. Next to that I got a phone. TrackPulse works with any phones, whatever you have, it works. If you don't have phones and you want to plug a headset right into the browser, you can do it that way and take calls just like Skype. Very simple. Okay. Once I make myself active and available, which you can see I'm currently active and available, that means I'm ready to take calls. Now, below that, you'll see some leads. So these are people that either I took were calls previously and I saved them as leads for follow-up, or maybe they're emails that came into the system and they were assigned to me to follow up with. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check who I need to follow up with today. It's kind of my priority board. You can see today I got to follow up with Tracy Smith, so I might do that. But before I do that, I'm going to show you exactly how a call comes into the system, how a reservation agent takes the call, and exactly how we're going to save this, follow up with, and convert this into a booking. So I'm going to go ahead and call a tracking number here. Now, put yourself in the shoes of a reservation agent as you're watching this, okay? And here it comes. So I'm going to answer the call. So first things first, you can see that the call has come in from the Resorts and Lodges campaign, so that's an advertising campaign. Second thing, you can see it's coming into my queue. A queue could be one person or multiple people. The third thing is you could see the brand. So if you happen to have multiple hotels, multiple resorts, or maybe multiple brands that you're answering for, maybe you're a call center, you can set up multiple brands in here so that when the caller's coming in, the person that answers the call sees which hotel or which resort, which brand they're calling about. Now, on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's no contact in the system for this phone number and there's no lead associated. That's why there's a little X. If there was a contact, if there was a lead, there'd be a little green check mark by contact and by lead, but there's not. So what we teach your reservations team to say is, thank you for calling so-and-so resort. May I have your name, please? So right away, they're going to get the name of the person that's calling. That's the first step. That's really simple. It's really easy to train, and everyone can follow that system. Now, once they've asked for the name, they're going to go off and they're going to start working the reservation software, and they're going to try to make this reservation. But what happens most of the time is the traveler's not ready to book. We know that 70 to 80% of the time they're not going to be ready. That's where most companies are going to stop. But this is where your company is going to be different. What we're going to teach your people to do is, instead of letting them go and letting them go off in the ether, maybe they find some other property, or maybe they end up booking with you, but maybe they do it through Expedia and you got to pay a 25% commission on that booking. Wouldn't you rather have your reservation person just ask a couple of other questions and input a little bit of data into a CRM so you can drive follow-up and drive that sales process? Wouldn't you rather have them do outbound and be a salesperson for your organization rather than be an order taker? That's what we teach them to do. When the traveler says, I'm not ready to book, we teach them step number 2. Step number 2, no problem, Mr. Renner. Let me get your email address and I'll send you an email with a link to the unit or package you were looking at and a special offer if you book in the next 24 hours. How does that sound? Sounds great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter that email once they give us the email. Okay. Now that's step number 3. Now here's where we actually generate the follow-up, and this is called creating a res lead. Mr. Renner, I'm going to go ahead and put a note in my system to follow up with you in a few days just to see if the room's still available if you want to book. How does that sound? Just that one question or suggestion right there is helping TrackPulse customers on average save over 30% of non-booked phone calls into leads for follow-up at a future time. So Mr. Renner opts in, the phone is hung up. Here's what's going to help you generate significant revenue for your business. If the reservation agent gets done with the call and it's a person that's checking availability, in order to save and move forward, the reservation agent has to fill out the required information in the form on the left. If they don't, it won't let them take another call. This, coupled with our training, forces good habits and forces the reservations people to accurately tag the calls that are coming in and save the data for future follow-up. So I'm going to take 30 seconds and fill out this form. I'm going to select the lead type. Now, this form is fully customizable, so you can put whatever fields you want in here, but there's some that are standard that just work, like arrival date, departure date, quotes, tags. This form is important because when you save this information can automatically be pulled into email templates that you send to the customer. Things like contact information, arrival date, departure date, the value of the quote, and things of this nature. I'll show you how that works. Now that we've saved the information, we're going to go ahead and save this as a new lead. It took me 30 seconds, but I've now added another contact into my database, someone that I never would have followed up with before. So I'm going to go ahead, and after I've saved the lead, I'm going to shoot this contact a quick email with a little bit of information. I'm going to click into the lead, I'm going to select a template, and I'm going to autofill it. The content auto-filled the arrival date, the departure date, the quote, the number of nights, and a direct link from the campaign number that was associated with this call in the first place. That's a template. You can create unlimited templates and use them to efficiently follow up and communicate with particular types of guests. If I need to change or adjust my template, I can insert content like photos, files, images, whatever I need to engage the customer. I'm going to go ahead and send this email. Once your reservation agent sends the email, they're now starting a one-to-one communication with your prospective guest. This keeps you in touch throughout the booking process and increases your likelihood of making the reservation. If the reservation agent gets an email back from the guest, they can communicate one-to-one and have that personalized experience. Your reservation agent can also click to call and call the guest to convert them via the phone. Many of our customers, for example, actually have generated over $1.5 million from doing outbound calling right through this lead system here. From a reporting standpoint, if you want to understand how your reservation agents are converting on that first call, how many leads they're saving, and what their follow-up process looks like, and what their outbound conversions look like, we have an entire reporting suite. Not only can we show you your agent productivity, but we can show you inbound conversions, outbound conversions, campaign statistics, where you can see which marketing campaigns are generating the most phone calls, generating the most revenues. We can show you hourly call volume, push roll-up reports to understand your abandonment rates, your res lead rates, your conversion rates. We have call scoring tools to be able to help train and keep compliance within your reservation team. We have so many great reports throughout our Pulse reports and in our CRM reports. Companies are using Track Pulse to increase inbound conversions, add outbound revenue, track marketing campaigns, decrease abandonment rate, and overall make their reservations team more marketable, more profitable. To find out more and see if Track Pulse is right for your business, give us a call, shoot us an email. We'll walk through a personalized demo of the product. We'll help you understand just what type of an impact it can have for your business. Thanks, and we hope to work with you.